Hello, good evening. How are you all? In case you don't know me, I'm Marty, and I like to party. And I heard that the best party in the west of Ireland is happening here tonight, so hey, you're stuck with me for a little while. Delighted to be here. It's a very special night. It's the 25th FBD Young Farmer of the Year Awards in association, of course, with Macra na Farma. It is a particular honour, and if my late grandfather was alive, he'd have been absolutely proud to be here tonight because he was a small farmer in the west coast of Clare, got up at 4 o'clock in the mornings, milked 4 cows, went in the horse and trap, bringing the milk churn down to what we call the Onagueric Creamery, and had a race with his 2 neighbours. I think it was the highlight of the poor man's day to have a race with Joe Flynn and Michael Lynch to who was first to the creamery. So I suppose that is there, and that love of the land is, I think, in all of us, any of us who have Irish blood in particular, and particularly if you're brought up in New York like what I was, and to come back and appreciate our country and what you're all doing and what you've been doing since this started in 1999. And your love of the land and what you do with it is quite obvious to be seen. And the change from 1999 to 2023 is remarkable in terms of technology and the way we work our lands, no matter what part of the country that you're in. But tonight is your night, and tonight is a night of celebration, and I hope that you will enjoy every moment of our night here in the Radisson Hotel in Sligo. It is a special night. The 25th is quite an achievement, and to be nominated, to be part of the 25th celebrations is truly historic. So I congratulate all of you from the very beginning. As you know, or you might know, as I said at the beginning, the old catchphrase that Mario Rosenstock and Oliver Callan did when they were taking the piss out of me in the various TV shows was, I'm Marty and I like to party. So I presume that I'm here. A, you'd like to party, and 2, you'd like to do the Marty Love trip. Are you happy to do the Marty Love trip? It's only lads I hear getting excited, right? Which disappoints me greatly. So, are you ready to do the Marty Love trip? Right, okay. I don't care whether you know the person to your immediate right. I want you to turn to them now, give them a big hug, and tell them you love them. And just, you can let her go now there at the back of the room. And just in case there's any jealousy, now turn to the person on your left and give them a big hug and tell them you love them as well. So now that we're all loved up, I think we should have a bite to eat, enjoy our lovely dinner that I'm sure you will enjoy, and then afterwards we'll go through all the official ceremony. But I know that you're going to have a smile on your face all through the evening because that's what this is about. You are part of history tonight, a special event, and I'm delighted to be your host for a little while and share the time and be in your company. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all. So enjoy dinner, and I'll be back with part 2 after dessert. Okay? That deal? Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. And before we forget, I don't know what ye had. I had the beef, and it was beautiful. And I know Elaine beside me, I think, had the salmon, and she loved it as well. So I think we should give the staff here in the Radisson Blue Hotel in Sligo a big round of applause for their lovely meal. And served with a smile, and we really appreciate it, so thank you. We're moving on to the formal side of the evening, and a very important part of it. As we said at the very beginning, this, I suppose, is slightly different because it's the 25th year of these awards. Certainly a landmark by no matter what organisation you have, to have 25 years of so many successful awards. And tonight we have many of the 24 previous winners, which is also a little bit historic. So I'm going to call out the 24, as you can see here. And as you're called out, we want to take a team photograph. This is like the All-Stars team of the last 25 years. And whether you're a hurler or a footballer or a farmer or whatever, this is your moment for glory, okay? So we have, as you come up, if you're here, I know some people are not here, but we need to give them a big round of applause as well, because this is such a prestigious award that we need to acknowledge them. Okay, Michael D, 1999, male. He later became President of Ireland. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Michael Gowing, I hope, 2003 in Laois. I'll do it this way, actually, now that I see it. Conor O'Connell from 2000 in Shandoon. Andrew Killeen, 2001 from County Clare. Are there a few more Clare people here apart from myself? I feel so much happier now.
Yeah, but Marty, come on, the Magpies though.
Dumbeg? Okay, forget it. For those of you not in the know, my club is Kilmurray-Abricken, and our greatest rivals are the Magpies, neighbouring parish. We hardly speak to each other. But anyway, tonight we will. We're delighted to have anybody from Dumbeg with us here. So as you're called out, who else? Andrew, are you the first one to be called up? I mean, that you're here. Okay.
I'm the oldest.
Andrew, as you're here, you won it in 2001. Can I have a microphone? Sorry, David. Now. You hold on to that. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Come here, 2001. What was it like? How important was it, this award for you?
Oh, it was huge, absolutely huge, Marty. I suppose it was totally unexpected. First of all, to be nominated, I guess there was a programme going on in Clare at the time. It was the beginning of the discussion groups, and we had two graduates from UCD running the programme, Pat Bogue, who unfortunately is not with us anymore, and Peter Slattery. And it was Pat nominated me. I was involved with the Kerry Monitor programme at the time, and it was just and it was very exciting. Went to the competition. We were actually travelling at the time, Bernadette and I, and we rang them to know would they accommodate us on the second day, and which they did. And so I had my interview on the morning of the second day, and was absolutely shocked to be called out in the 6 that were going to be interviewed after lunch on the day. And
when you were interviewed, what did they ask you? Can you remember?
Sure, everything, I suppose. Obviously, from the farming point of view, it was because of being in the monitor programme, we were working well on costs and the day-to-day running of the farm, as well as, I suppose, the bigger picture around development, and then community participation, I think, was a huge part. And of course, Marty, as you know, Dumbeg were the first club to bring home the Munster Club Championship in, now we'll have to
the end of this conversation. Thank you very much.
So Dumbeg led the way for Kilmurray-Abricken, of course, who went on to bring home 2 of them. But
I'm glad you mentioned that. We won 2, Dumbeg won 1. But this is just Clare local stuff now.
We broke the ice for you, that's the only, so look, I was involved in the club. I wasn't playing, I wasn't good enough, played with the junior team and enjoyed it, but I was involved that year in the club, and all those little things. I was involved in amateur drama, involved in all and I think that was a huge part actually of it at the time as well, because I suppose one of the big things at the moment is work-life balance kind of thing, and I think that was a big thing that came across from us at the time, and I'd include Bernadette in that.
Yeah, but
starting our young family.
Do you think that in some ways it gave you confidence to do other things? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it's 21, 22 years ago.
Yeah, sure. Look, there's no doubt, I suppose, they all intertwined into each other. I suppose the amateur dramatics, I suppose, give me the confidence to actually be able to talk, and then winning the award gives you the confidence to go back home again. And then, I was very well treated by all media outlets. I was on the radio, I was on, actually ended up on Ear to the Ground that year as well. It was a great experience.
It's never been the same since, I have to say.
No, highest rated programme, I believe, yeah. It definitely drove on, and I suppose it just gives you that confidence to met some great people, and indeed made those contacts that we actually used again as well through farming life afterwards, and of course, look at Macra is just an amazing organisation, and particularly from in rural Ireland. And I know there's a lot of rural people that go to the more populated areas and get involved with Macra there. But for rural Ireland, it's a huge organisation, I think. And back in our time, it was our social life, and very important for some people that don't get involved in stuff would join Macra and then find themselves getting involved in so many more things. So it's a brilliant organisation.
Well, Andrew, we're delighted to have you here. We're delighted that you're former FBD Young Farmer of the Year back in 2001. You can't help it, the fact that you're from Doonbeg, that's a cross you have to bear. But in fairness, you did okay, Andrew. Anyway, all joking aside,
thanks, Martin.
Give a big round of applause to Andrew. You stay there, Andrew. Right, let me keep going on with after Andrew. Michael Reedy, 2002 in Limerick. If you're here, just come on up to us. Don't be shy. Michael Gowing, I hope I pronounced that right, 2003 in Laois. In 2004, the Young Farmer of the Year was in Kerry, Kerryman Martin Brosnan. Hi, Martin. Hi. Nice to meet you. Come on up here beside me for a second. How are you?
Great.
I'm going to give you that now for a second. And come around me there, I won't be rude. Now, what part of Kerry are you from, Martin?
Fernfor.
Oh!
In the middle of Kerry.
Yeah, I know it. And you have a lovely airport as well.
Absolutely.
And you have the Kerry Centre of Excellence just up the road from you.
Yeah, we'll treat them well.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk to me about 2004 and winning this award and your memories of the moment when it was announced.
Complete shock. I suppose it was above in Tinnahealy in Wicklow. I see Joe here. He put me through the interrogation. And then we had Maureen McGuinness in the final group as well. So went through, like Andrew said, all our farming detail, all our social activities and all that kind of stuff. So it was a huge honour for me, a huge honour for my family and all that, and opened great doors for us after as time went on.
Because this was a new competition in 04, so it has obviously gained a prestige over the years. But did you know it was significant even then?
Mightn't have appreciated as much at the time until now. Yeah. And to meet all the different winners over the years and fantastic people. It's a super competition. Absolutely.
Did it help you along your career?
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose after winning it, there was a young fella who lived across the road from us, and as you know, there had been photos in the paper and all that kind of stuff. And he was asking his mother what did it mean, and seeing that the Rose of Tralee is on tonight.
You're not in the Rose of Tralee, John. I am not Dahi O'Shea, I swear.
But he was asking his mother what it meant, and she didn't know. So she said, "'Twas a Rose of Tralee for farmers." Look, it has been fantastic. Absolutely.
Well done. Two of the brightest Roses of Tralee I've ever met is yourself and Andrew. John, thank you. Martin, I should say thank you, and thank you for coming. Well done. After Martin, we go to Limerick in 2005 for John McNamara. In 2006, it was Tipperary's Young Farmer of the Year, Eddie O'Donnell. Brian Daniels, we went to Kilkenny in 2006 for Brian Daniels. You have at least one good fan here in the audience, Brian. Oh, you married her? Oh, well then, were you expected? Here you go, Brian. Just come around here to me. Good evening, Brian. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Good to meet you.
So what part of Kilkenny are you from?
I'm from just outside a small village called Kilmagany, near Piltown.
Yeah. So talk to me about 2006, and did you think that when you entered this competition, or nominated, whatever it was, that the FBD Young Farmer of the Year would be your accolade in 06?
No, I entered originally in 2005. Went into the competition very green, very unsure what I was going in for. I was only in Mockra probably a couple of months at the time, and was blown away by the competition in terms of the people I met and the standard of the farming that was going on. And I was tipping away at home. I went home in 2009, got management at the farm at 19, thought I was doing a good job, and next thing I showed up at this competition and said, yeah, look, I was going back. I was lucky in 2005, I got placed third. So I said I was going to go back. So it's actually 2007. So I went back in 2007. We were changing some of the stuff around at home. I had three different businesses. I'm dairy farming. We had a bit of beef. We were also playing with machinery. We'd done a lot of contracting work. And we were tipping away. I had three different business plans. I said, what's the best thing I could do? But put it up in front of six of the leading people in Irish agriculture. So I went into the competition saying, right, this is a way to stress test it. And went through, and it was the final interview when I got called into the final six, and I was in front of those six judges, and it just felt at ease. I was representing my farm and what I was doing and what I was passionate about, and that was the best part. Yeah. And there's still parts of that interview that it's a pleasure to think back on. It was good. It was good. The farming, the community involvement, the Mockra involvement I was doing as well. I was just on Tag Affairs. I was a Kilkenny council. I was the national council rep for Kilkenny. So everything was moving nice, and to end up with that competition and get it back to the home farm and the pride of my community and my family to what we achieved was brilliant.
Fair play. I love Kilkenny people. I love your sense of modesty, because when you meet Kilkenny people, actually we were chipping away there. We won 7 of the last 8 All-Ireland titles, and that's what I love about you there. You were chipping away nicely. But did it change? Did it change your perspective, all joking aside now, about what you wanted to do with your career and farming?
It did, yeah. I went home farming thinking, I was going to go home. I was going to milk a herd of cows and I'd live my life. What this competition and what Mockra done for me is being completely out of anything that I could have originally taught in those couple of first years. I represented young farmers in Dublin and Brussels. I've been representing Irish farmers on television, and even what I've done since in terms of what we're trying to achieve at home on the farm in terms of sustainable grassland farming, producing high quality feed, all those little things. And then it's coming back and meeting the new contestants of the competition. And I've been lucky that I've been asked back to do some of the interviewing and meeting the people that are entering it in the last couple of years, and even just talking to them. And there's an energy coming off them that helps me back home as well. So it's opened up a huge amount of doors to what I've been able to do. And
Brian, what's the most significant change in what you've concentrated on, do you think, over the last, 16, 17 years?
Really hard to pin it down. I'm very fortunate. I'm making a living out of what I really enjoy, and that's working with livestock, grazing grass and being outside. I'm able to bring in then my other interests as well of what I'm able to do, be it amateur drama or carpentry or working my hands, but also having my friends and my family around me as well. That's the big part as well. It's a whole, there's much more than just a farm in it, so there is.
What is it about young farmers? You're all into drama. Look at your man over there from Jumbeg. He thinks he's Tom Cruise from West Clare, you know.
We like telling stories, sure. We like telling stories.
That's good. Yeah. So tonight, being back here now and amongst your colleagues and seeing the next batch of young farmers coming through, obviously you've come all the way from Kilkenny to be in Sligo. It's not, it's a fair distance. What does it mean to you to be here?
It's great what we came up, and my wife is down there and she's going to slag me for the next couple of days, but it's coming up and meeting past winners, meeting friends, meeting people that we've known for years, and meeting the next generation as well, the people who are coming along behind us. And that's what brought us up the road. It's getting to meet our friends and our family and our extended family out around. So it is. That's what brought us up.
What's your wife's name? Because
Gail.
Peace and tranquility, I think we should mention her.
Yeah. Gail.
Gail.
She's
Hi,
high.
Gail.
Yeah. We met through Mockra as well.
Did you?
Yeah. It's strange. Yeah, it kind of happens.
Really, yeah. Where'd you meet?
We both won a leadership award back. So we blame it all on Colin Markey. He put us together.
Right.
So yeah, that's how it happened. Friendship started up and we went.
And away you went.
Yeah.
And love blossomed.
Yeah.
How long are you married now?
Oh, now you have me. 12 years.
12 years?
12 years, yeah.
Well
yeah.
done to both of you.
And we're still talking. So.
And you're still talking?
Yeah.
Well, she's recording everything now. So you better. Anyway, lovely meeting you. Well done.
Good to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
Just a village called Carnacon. I'm sure you've heard of it once or twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of brilliant ladies footballers.
Yeah, we just live next door to the infamous Cora Staunton.
I figured I was just going to ask her, do you know Cora Staunton?
Yeah, so she's put Carnacon on the map, very much so in the last few years.
Well, I think you did your bit in 2008, so tell me about your farm and winning this award.
Winning the award was fantastic at the time. We just started farming at home myself. I'd taken over the family farm at home. And we had begun to develop it like that, and I was put forward. I was just after joining Macron Farm, and I was put forward as a nominee. And my wife Colette was just after having a baby at the time, and we hit for Kilkenny, and we got there. I think it was around 2:00 in the morning, or something like that. And the interview was the next day, so it was all a rush. But lucky enough, things went our way anyway, and we were put through to the final 6. So, and the chairman of the interview board then at the final 6, I think, was Bertie Ahern at the time, and I see Joe Healy is here as well. Joe was on the interview board, and it all went our way, and we won it and brought the cup back to Mayo.
Oh, are you talking about the former Taoiseach, Bertie Ahern?
Former Taoiseach Bertie. He was after stepping down as Taoiseach at the time, so it was nerve-wracking enough at the time,
right.
you know.
No bother to you, for God's sake.
No, but we got through it anyway.
So,
the result.
In terms of now, when you look back, would you consider it a significant moment in your life?
It was absolutely fantastic. The people I got to meet, and we did a lot of media stuff. We'll say the local media, and we did a lot of talks and that, and the confidence you gain from it, and the people you meet. It was fantastic. Yeah. It was all positive. All the media was brilliant. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And in terms of the farming, what was your concentration on?
We were dairy farmers, and it gave us a profile as well, put our name out there, and we developed our farm at home, and then we went on to rent farms and develop them as well. So we've been milking on 3 to 4 different farms at the moment, so it has helped in that side of things very much so. It gave us a profile and told people what we were doing, and
Yeah, well, fair play and congratulations. We're delighted to have you here with us. One last question. Will Mayo win Sam in 2024?
The burning question, of course. Would you ever doubt them?
Never.
No. It's a sought after cup in Mayo, but hopefully we're thereabouts all the time. It's going to come our way.
It is, absolutely. Lovely meeting.
Thank you very much, Marty.
Thanks very much. So we have 4 young farmers on the stage now. Moving on to Waterford in 2009, William Keane. Hi, William. Nice to meet you. Good on. How part of Waterford are you from?
Ardmore, County Waterford.
Oh, beautiful Ardmore.
Yeah, it's a nice part.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous park. So tell me about winning this award, Young Farmer of the Year in 2009, and what were your hopes and dreams at the time?
Sure, it was a fantastic, for achievement. Didn't have any great expectations going up. I do remember driving up from Limerick this evening. It was a very wet 2009, and I said, geez, when I'm driving to Mayo now, we'll have to get somewhere, like driving all the way up. So, yeah, we got to the last 6, and after that, it was a bonus. It was fantastic memories.
Has it opened doors to you? I mean, that's what the lads have been.
Sure, no doubt. Same as the lads, it's the people you meet and it's the friends. I mean, I was talking to a guy who was actually in the competition there only last week, just discussing a few different things with him. It's just, you still have those numbers, still have the contacts, still have banter. Everyone was still on the same wavelength. Going forward, even think about it, 13 or 14 years on, it's great.
And was farming in your family?
Yeah, look, I've always wanted to be a farmer since I was 3 or 4. Did other things, got a chance to go to college and UCC and stuff, but I always, deep down, that's always my first love. That's it, yeah.
And what kind of farming do you do?
You were dairy farming, pretty much dairy farming now.
And tonight, coming back, what year was you? 2009. Yeah. To come back here tonight and to meet fellow winners and to see the next.
Sure, it's great. Actually, Brian actually interviewed me on the farm in a preliminary interview. Brian Daniels. Yeah, so it was only kind of went through my head there a moment ago. So yeah, so I'd meet a lot of lads. You'd meet them over the years at like grassland walks, Chagas, Moor Park days. You'd always be in contact with them. So yeah.
So the fact that you're at separate tables, you're still friends, I hope. Oh yeah. He did a good job. He did. Yeah. Well done, and thank you for being here, and congratulations on your achievement. Well done. And the last one on this particular graphic is a Wexford Young Farmer of the Year in 2010. It was Paul Keogh. In 2011, we went to Offaly for Kevin Heaven. In 2012, we went back to Limerick for Dermot O'Connor. Are you Dermot? Are you Kevin? No. But you're coming up. I can feel it. I sense it. There's a man who is preparing himself. The old brill cream is going on the side of the face there now, Fair play. I'm looking forward to having you up here with me, buddy. In 2013, Carberry's John Buckley. Hey! Hey, John. Nice to meet you. Lovely stuff. You're a fine, handsome man, by God, when you're putting on the jacket there.
Built for comfort, not for speed.
Talk to me, John, about Carberry and being a farmer. Obviously, this is, like I said at the very beginning, the love of the land, the love of the animals, the love of everything you do. So what's it been for you?
Actually, look, Carberry, I suppose, what can I say about it? It's West Cork, the best part of Cork. We're fortunate enough, we're farming down near Bantry. My father is still very active, and I have my own 2 kids coming up now as well, farming. So I suppose for me, farming is about family. And it's a huge thing to have 3 generations able to work together and that sort of stuff. It's good. Winning this competition was fantastic. I remember having a semi-final interview in the Horse and Jockey with Joe Healy down there, and I remember leaving the Horse and Jockey that day going, I'm not even sure I should be farming, to be honest with you, with the questioning I got. The grilling was something unbelievable. So I suppose when we had the final up in Adair, a few weeks later, I was fairly relaxed going into it because I would have never considered myself final 6 material. So it was a bit of a shock to get the call to stay back from the farm walk.
And when Joe was interviewing you, giving you the grilling, I mean, what kind of things was making you think? Can you remember?
Look, he had a sidekick in Willie John O'Dwyer. The 2 of them, they were a bit of a tic-tac team. And I suppose they were really drilling into the performance of the farm and, the sort of the key metrics and how we were comparing versus what would be considered acceptable within the standard. And one would miss, the other one would pick up, and then we had Anne-Marie Butler there, which would kind of come in every now and then and reassure you that you were doing all right and whatever. So yeah, it was tough going, but it was fantastic because, you know, it did question what I was at, like, you know, and it stood to me then for the final round.
That was my next question, in the sense, did it make you a better farmer? I mean, that's 10 years ago now.
I did, yeah, it did. But I suppose what I see from my experience of the Young Farmer of the Year competition, you know, I think as young people we all have a rough sketch of what we want our future to pan out or whatever, and I suppose winning this competition sent us off on a complete different detour. You know, I went on, done a Nuffield scholarship after winning this competition. You know, I'm now involved with Mockers Ag Affairs Committee nationally, like, you know, so yeah, we've just gone off on a total different detour, doing stuff I would never have imagined possible 10 years ago.
But isn't that wonderful? Isn't that a great thing?
Oh, huge, absolutely, and especially for young people. And, like, you know, I suppose it's within the farming industry, it's like one of the most prestigious competitions out there to win. So,
are you happy now that you're still a farmer?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Look, like I always say, if I saw the Jeep going down the road with my own father driving it and the two young fellas inside in the Jeep with him and they going off checking heifers or something like that, like, that for me is success, like, or, you know, that's the pinnacle, like, for me, like, you know. And I suppose, you know, we've reached that, like, and that's, yeah, family, that's what farming is all about in this country, you know, is family and family farming, so yeah.
Nice way to end our chat, John Buckley. Lovely meeting you. Well done. Thank you very much. So that was the Tom Cruise of West Cork there, ladies and gentlemen, making a special appearance here with us tonight. Thank you, John. We go back to Mayo 2014, Sean O'Donnell. In 2015, we went to Louth for the first time for the Farmer of the Year, Jonathan Marry. In 2016, we went back to Mayo. Mayo were very successful, actually, as I see there. Kevin Moran. I thought he played with the Dubs in Manchester United in the Republic of Ireland, but anyway. PG O'Keefe was our 2017 Kilkenny winner. Monaghan was the Young Farmer of the Year in 2018 with Daniel Hawthorne. In 2019, we went back to Clare for Liam Hanrahan. Well, Liam, please don't tell me you're from Doonbeg as well, are you?
We're next door neighbours.
Are we? Where are you from?
We came back to Doonbeg twice.
My next door neighbour.
He's your next door neighbour. Right, okay, you won the first Munster Club. We've heard it already, yeah. Tell me, Liam, tell me about winning this award in 2019.
Sure, Marty, it is a massive achievement for me anyway. The Young Farmer of the Year is in All Ireland, like, it's to most people in the GA circles, obviously. This would mean the most, as much to us, yeah. You know, so it was huge, and at the time, like, we all would say, like, it meant the world, in which it did, like, you'll never forget it.
So, describe what it was like going through the interview process, but being announced the Young Farmer of the Year in, 3-4 years ago? Yeah,
so we were in the Castleknock Hotel in Dublin, and it was a room like this, and to be announced, it was an unbelievable feeling, really. Like, it's something I wouldn't have expected to win either. Just it's the same as all the lads' stories. Like, you know, I was nominated the first day, obviously, to go forward for County Clare, and then went through 2 interviews, and sure, to be called out to be part of the final 6 and to be seen as being part of that group would have been very prestigious, but then to be named as the winner, the overall winner, and to be part of this group is huge, yeah.
And was Andrew a great help and advice?
Oh, and of course, I was surrounded by role models from the start. Like, it's
That's pushing it now, Andrew. Don't push it.
So to say you should learn from the best, and I suppose that was I had known about this competition with a very long time, and I knew about it very well when Andrew won it, and I could remember back from the very start, like, you know.
But you're unique, if I may say so, being from the same place to win it. That has never happened, obviously, before.
No, there's the same parish, yeah. There's the same roads, next door neighbours, yeah.
By God. Yeah. So, in terms of the influence this award has had on you in the last 3-4 years, I mean, has it changed you psychologically in the sense of confidence?
Oh, sure, it's been a huge influence. I've been part of the Ag Affairs Committee since. I'm now chair of the Ag Affairs Committee for Macra, and that wouldn't have happened but for this award. There's no doubt about it. It has propelled me in the organisation to that. There's no doubt. It's hard to put into words, really, like how much it benefits you, and even just being part of the night here, like for all the contestants, like it's a special occasion.
And Liam, what would be your advice to the people, to the farmers who are nominated and made semi-finals and they're part of the journey tonight?
Well, sure, that's exactly it. It's a part of the journey. Like, it doesn't start or finish here tonight. There's always room for improvement for every person and every farm. And there's many people come back 3 and 4 times to this competition. Like, it's not something that you're going to go away and forget about or anything like that. You know, it's even just talking to the few lads there today, we're out in the farm walk, and people who hadn't been here before, they said it was an exceptional occasion to be part of, and it's a great showcase for the organisation. And like, these people here are ambassadors for Irish farming and Irish agriculture, not just for a small group of people. Like, it's for the whole country. It's difficult to describe in ways.
Yeah, but it obviously means a lot to you, Liam. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations, and we're very proud of you. Well done. In 2020, we went to Galway for Dara Killeen. In 2021, we went back to Cork for the Young Farmer of the Year for Owen Ashton. And last but not least, we went, if Tom Cruise gets out of the way there now for a second, this is going to stick to you now, tonight. We have Christopher Tuffy, who is with us here tonight, 2022 winner. And as Christopher is our reigning Young Farmer of the Year, he's going to address you now and give you a couple of words. And he's going to join the group then. Actually, do you want to take the photographs first, or will we do How we take the photo, will we? Yeah, I just thought, go over there, Christopher, for 1 second. Now tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are presenting these 8 gentlemen as the best looking men in Ireland from all different parts of the country, and we'll be selling photographs immediately afterwards because they'll be bestsellers, won't they? Well done, lads. So we might give our Young Farmers of the Year, the FBD Young Farmer of the Year, in association with Marco Winners, a big round of applause. Now, Christopher is going to say a couple of words. Before he does, the reason why we're here in Sligo is obviously Christopher won it last year, and that's why we're delighted that we're all here, in fact, obviously. He's a farmer in Dunalley. I hope I got that pronounced right, have I? Yeah. Between Sligo Town and Glencairn Waterfall. Dairy Award, an overall winner. From Enniscrone originally, still playing football. Emer from Ballina, great Mayo woman. And we're delighted to have you both here. And also 14-month-old Irla. And I love the name Irla as well. So we're expecting Irla to play for Sligo or Mayo. Sligo, says the father, yes. I tried. And obviously, please God, a future Young Farmer of the Year. But let's just play the video first before we hear from Christopher.
And I count the blessings that I get out of bed every morning and do a job I love. It's given me an opportunity to live here at home in the west of Ireland. My name is Christopher Duffy. I'm a dairy farmer here in North County Sligo. Winning FBD Young Farmer was very beneficial. It gave me an opportunity to highlight and showcase agriculture in the west of Ireland, to show that we're able to be as good as farmers up here, and it gave me a platform to be able to do that. I suppose the biggest challenges facing young farmers is environmental restrictions. But this is a field of clover, or grass and clover that we sowed earlier this year. So this field has received no chemical nitrogen since it was sown, and it will play a big part in reducing our nitrogen usage on the farm, which will ultimately lead us to be more environmentally friendly to farmers. Last year's award show was brilliant. Of course, we had Emer in down with me. Emer's only baby there tonight. But it was brilliant. We're going to look back at the photos in years to come with huge great memories and huge fondness.
Lovely family photograph of Emer and Irla. Ladies and gentlemen, the FBD Young Farmer of the Year 2022 is Christopher Duffy.
I suppose it's a massive honour and a pleasure for me to stand up here and as the first ever winner from Sligo, and I'm delighted to see such a great crowd here tonight in Sligo. Elaine said she wanted the winner announced before the Rosa to release, so I'll try not to delay it too long. The first people I suppose I'd like to acknowledge here tonight is the most important people in the room, and that's the 15 semi-finalists. I'd like to say massive congratulations to the 15 of them. I think Joe Healy said it last year, and what he said was spot on. When we went through the night, you get talking to so many of the semi-finalists and finalists, and you realise how high the standard is. And talking to the lads out in the farm today, you realise how high the standard is again this year. And I'd highly encourage the 14 who obviously won't come away with the Winners' Award tonight to come back again, maybe not next year, but over the next few years, to come back and have another crack at it, because you don't really realise how close you could be to being even the top 6 or winning it out, and you learn a huge amount from that interview you done last week. So again, a massive congratulations to you all. Just, I suppose, very quick few thank yous. I suppose first off to my parents who are here tonight. I wouldn't be standing here this evening as Young Farmer of the Year without my mother and father and the backing they give me. They didn't come to Cork last year because I didn't bring them because I didn't think I had hope of winning. But from the first day I decided I wanted to become a farmer, I got nothing but encouragement and got backing. And my father gave me enough leeway to learn from mistakes, but still there to pulling on the rope to make sure I didn't crash the thing fully into the wall. So, and my mother was always there in the background, especially the first few years when we moved here to the Leeds farm in Sligo. She used to rear the calves for us at home, or help us rear the calves. And myself and Dad used to joke that when we bought her a calf feeder in, it was like when Father Ted bought Mrs. Doyle the tea making machine. But we were lucky enough she didn't stick the screwdriver in it. But she's been a massive support to my partner, my fiance Emer, and our little baby. He's not here. Most of you remember him from last year, the little baby in the corner. But unfortunately, we couldn't bring him tonight because he's a small bit more active. But again, massive support and help. And Emer's not from a farming background. She's learned that coming home in at 6:30, or saying being at 6:30, could be any time from 6:30 to 9:30. But she's also huge support for me, always there and always backing me. I suppose massive thanks to FBD Insurance, and I think they're the ones who need to be thanked the most, because this isn't possible without them. You see every event from the Tullamore Show to Moore Park, the backing they give Irish agriculture is absolutely phenomenal. And I've seen it firsthand over the last year, the support they've given me since I won it, and I'd absolutely like to thank them so much for giving me the opportunity to represent my county and be the 22 Young Farmer of the Year. The last one, I suppose, is of course Mark Farmer, and over the last year or so, I really seen the power of them, and Catherine, whoever she is, she's down there organising, she does, Elaine. There's brilliant people in Mark Farmer, and I'm absolutely honoured to be associated with them over the last, since winning it last November, over the last 9 months, and hopefully be associated with them again. That's all I'll say. I hope you all have a great night and safe home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Christopher. And remember the name, Irla Tuffy. He's only 14 months, but he's going to be playing for Sligo, and that's the end of it. So we look forward to that in a couple of years' time. Right, we're moving on to, I suppose, the core of the evening, the semi-finalists. 15 semi-finalists, and I'm just going to read out who they are and a little bit about each one and tell you who's in the final. The tension is unbelievable. First up is Conor Doran from Wexford, Other Enterprise. Conor works as a product owner for HerdWatch. He designs and decides what new features come to the land management part of the app. He has a master's in sustainable agriculture from UCD, and he is an organic tillage farmer at his home farm. Where's Conor here? All right, stand up and we'll give you a round of applause. Well done. Conor is in the final 6. We move on to Patrick Egan from Mayo Dry Stock. Patrick is a full-time sheep and suckler farmer in Kilgarriff, County Mayo. He studied agriculture and environmental management as well as rural development in Mount Bellew and GMIT. On the farm he aims to get the most of genetics and grass as possible. So Patrick, where are you? Good man. Patrick is also in the final 6, so well done to both of you. Moving on to Kilkenny, to Jim Moore, dairy. He's a dairy farmer milking 163 three-way cross cows with his dad. He has a Holstein-based herd crossed with Norwegian Red and Jersey. He rears all of his own young stock and has an overall stocking rate of 2.89. Jim Moore. Well done. We go from Kilkenny to Donegal to our next semi-finalist, to Dwayne Shields, Dry Stock. Dwayne is a pedigree sheep farmer from Letterkenny, County Donegal. I stayed there last night, by the way. It has nothing to do with Dwayne, but anyway. As well as farming at home, he's also a lecturer in agricultural science at ATU Donegal. So, good man, Dwayne. And Dwayne is in the final 6. Moving on to Philip Talon in County Meath, Other Enterprise. Philip is an apple farmer from Meath. He has his own business called Lacetown Gardens and Nursery, I hope that's said right, which sells apple drinks from apples that have been grown on his farm. He's now branching out into the drinks producing industry. So he's also in the final 6. Where's Philip? Philip Talon. If we're going into the drinks producing industry, I think, Philip, you and I should become friends. Moving on to our next semi-finalist, it goes to Clare Dairy, and it's Katrina Power. She's a dairy and suckler farmer from Kilnamona in County Clare, know it well. She completed her Green Cert in 2016, and she is in a farming partnership with her father, Jared. So well done to Katrina. Up the banner, Katrina. We're very biased here. We move from Clare to Cork to Dry Stock and to John Cashman. He's running a suckler enterprise calving down 20 to 25 cows, selling calves at 7 to 8 months of age in October. He's been farming in partnership with his father since 2019. He's expanded gradually, starting with AAX, is that right? And HEX out of the dairy herd. He's now heading towards LMX for better quality weaning. John Cashman from Cork. I need to learn about AAX and HAX. I'd say you're definitely from Cork now. And I love the accent. I was born in Mallow, so don't worry, I'm half Cork. Let's just have a conversation here now all together, you and I. Anyway, moving on to Meath. To Luke Kenny, dairy. He's a dairy farmer from Wilkinstown in County Meath. He is farming in partnership with his parents for the past year. Currently, they're running a fully spring-based herd of 300 cows. The herd consists of 70% NZ Jersey cross and 30% black and white Friesians. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Kenny. Moving to a dairy farmer from Nina in County Tipperary. He has a green cert from Gurteen Agricultural College and is milking 120 cows. On the farm, he has a huge emphasis on performance and efficiency. Will you salute, please, Sean Kelly, Tipperary. And Sean is in the final 6. All the way up to Cavan next, to dairy farmer Carl Heaslip. He's farming a partnership with his parents. They're farming a 95 cow dairy herd along with all replacements being reared on the farm. Their aim for the farm is to continuously improve their herd genetics and herd production year on year. Carol also has a degree in mechanical engineering and a level 6 specific purpose certificate in farm administration. That's Carl Heaslip from Cavan. We go back to Cork to Timmy Lane. He's a dry stock farmer from County Cork. He has a degree in mechanical engineering and a level 6 specific purpose certificate in farm administration. He farms on approximately 60 acres running 3 systems, 30 purebred Hereford and Aberdeen Angus suckler cows, 100 breeding ewes and rear 60 calves to stores. Sounds like a very busy place. Timmy Lane, where's Timmy? From Cork to Waterford, to Liam Smith. He's a dairy and beef farmer from West Waterford. He milks 200 cows and finishes all the dairy beef followers in partnership with his parents, Michael and Maura. Might salute Liam Smith from Waterford. From Waterford up to Limerick, to Stephen O'Keefe. He's a farm manager on a leased farm in Limerick. He's milking 170 spring calving cows along with young stock. He's developing his own herd of cows, including a small herd of pedigree Ayrshires. That is Stephen O'Keefe from Limerick. And Stephen is in the final 6 as well. From Limerick to Laois, to Liam Brophy. He's a dairy farmer. He is a new entrant to farming in his 3rd season. He's now milking 140 cows in a spring calving system. Will you please welcome and salute Liam Brophy from Laois. Back to Kilkenny, to Mark Collins. He's a dairy farmer. He studied dairy business at UCD and graduated in 2020. He now farms at home, milking 450 crossbred cows in a spring calving grass-based system. He promotes economic, environmental and social sustainable dairy farming online via his platform at Mac-Milken-Gish, I think it is. Mac-Milken-Gish, I think it is it? What is it? I'm saying that wrong, am I, Mark? What is it? MC? Milking it. Right, now I have it. Can't read my own writing, Mark. It's very bad. Anyway, that was Mark Collins as well. You might give a big round of applause, everybody, to our 15 semi-finalists. Now, we have a few speeches for you. Our first speaker is the president of Macra Pharma. Elaine and myself, we go back a long way. We go back to Kilkenny winning the Camogie All-Ireland last year and taking a picture on the bus on the way home. We will not show the photograph to anybody. Isn't that right? Oh, is it? Oh, well, then there you go. Anyway, we met again today, but she's amazing, a young lady, because She graduated as a physiotherapist in Amsterdam, spent some time in Bali doing charity work, Indonesia, India, and is now president of Macra Pharma. That's all the positive side. The negative side is that she thinks Limerick hurlers are the best thing ever. Oh, there's a few more of you here. Anyway, I think she's great. Will you welcome the president of Macra Pharma, Elaine Houlihan. You're welcome.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, past presidents, finalists, fellow Macra members and our sponsors, FBD. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everybody tonight to the FBD Young Farmer of the Year Awards 2023. It's an honour to be here as the president of Macra Pharma for the 25th year, acknowledging all our previous winners as well as all our entrants and finalists this year. It is great to have our previous winners here with us tonight, along with our finalists, allowing us to look back and reflect over the last 25 years as we look forward to the future now. It is safe to say that our finalists this evening showcase all the very best of our industry, bringing confidence to each of us in our ability as a sector to deliver societal goals of food security, safety and quality while protecting the environment. This is achievable through the innovations, development and the growth you all demonstrate day in and day out on your farms. This is built on our strong family farming heritage, which enables us to be world-class leaders in food production, uploading the very best in terms of animal welfare, production and environmental standards. Indeed, as we look back over the last 25 years and learn from those who have gone before us, we see that agriculture has always been an innovative sector, overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities. It is this innovation that has ensured that agriculture meets and continues to meet our ambitions and challenging climate and food production targets. It is also this innovation that allows for increased environmental and climate benefits that farming provides, ensuring the protection of our natural resources, soil, water and biodiversity. The agricultural sector continues to be of critical importance to the Irish economy. It is our agri-food sector, and in particular, farming families, which are the heartbeat of every parish across the country, providing jobs and supporting our rural communities. I would also like to acknowledge our 2022 winner, Christopher Tuffy, a very worthy winner. Special thanks for your contribution over the last year. You are a wonderful advocate for our industry and for the very warm welcome to your farm this afternoon. We're still waiting for Westlife. At least we brought Marty. You showcase the best of our industry and the innovation I speak of, which allows for Irish family farms to be resilient, profitable and a viable business, hopefully inspiring the next generation of farmers, and absolutely no pressure on your son. On the 25th year of the FBD Young Farmer of the Year Awards, it has been great to see the competition go from strength to strength, with this year seeing 49 applications across all sectors. This would not have been possible without the continued support of our sponsors, FBD. And Macra look forward to the growth and development of our partnership with the IFA into the future. I am heartened from the standard of our FBD Young Farmer of the Year 2023 finalists, and indeed all of our entrants, who are committed to delivering not only for their own farm and families, but also for the wider community. It assures me that together we will forge a brighter and more sustainable future that our generation of farmers will give to the next generation. And the industry is resilient, and that inspires the next generation. Because what is certain to me is that our farm families produce the best, most sustainable and safe food that is underpinned by world-leading science, cutting-edge technology and innovation. Before I conclude, I would once again like to extend a special thanks to our sponsors, FBD, for sponsoring our event this evening and for their continued support, without which this event would not be possible. Thanks also to our judges, and especially Joe Healy, Martin Clark, Paul Murphy and Brian Daniels. I think they deserve a round of applause. And finally, but not least, I would like to thank all the team at Mockra, to Derry, Donny, Stephanie and especially Catherine, for all your hard work behind the scenes, not just today, but over the last few weeks and months. We'll give them a round of applause as well. And we can't forget our fantastic MC tonight, Marty, for bringing the party. And with that, on behalf of myself and all the team at Mockra, I wish you all a very enjoyable evening and the very best of luck to all our finalists. Let's have a Marty party.
No pressure there. Thank you, Elaine. And I meant what I said. I think she's brilliant. You're very lucky in Mockra Farmer to have her as your president. Our next speaker is the president of the Irish Farmers Association. Will you give a big round of applause to Tim Culdown?
Good evening, everybody, and it's a privilege to be here this evening. And first of all, I want to congratulate the 25 ambassadors that have won this award over the last 25 years. And it's great to see a number of you here present this evening, and it's just showing the testament to the strength of the people who have involved in farming currently, and the ambassadors that you are. And secondly, I think it's important as well to acknowledge the 15 finalists here this evening. And before we pick a winner tonight, everybody here tonight is a winner. Anybody that puts themselves forward, and showcases what they're doing themselves and what they're doing within their own business or their own farm, I think that needs to be acknowledged here tonight. I think that's very, very important. And the fact that this awards has been now ongoing for 25 years. It's a testament to all of you that it's going from strength to strength. I think that's very, very important. And I think it's important that we do, as previous speakers have said, acknowledge FBD and the work and obviously the support to this event is very, very important, and FBD Trust as well. And we have Michael Berkery here, and we have Liam here, the chairman of FBD Holdings as well. And I want to thank you for that. But look, there's just a few things I'd like to touch on, I suppose. And obviously, Christopher, and you got us up here to Sligo tonight, and look, I always like coming up to this part of the country. I was actually up here in Donegal last week for a few days break, but again, you've been an excellent ambassador, and looking at your farm and what you're doing, with multi-species grasses, clover, and again, an excellent showcase of what farming is about. And I think that's very, very important that we do show the positive side of our sector, and I think that's very, very important as well. But look, I suppose, like in farming, I suppose, coming back to what we do in IFA, there's always challenges, and there always will be challenges. And I suppose, look, we're currently seeing it at the moment, but I think it's just to look back briefly on last year and what we achieved. 16.3 billion of exports from our sector last year, going to 180 countries right around the world. And if you look at dairy farming last year, 6.8 billion that went to 130 countries. That's what we do as farmers in this country. I think that's very, very important to remember here tonight as well. I suppose, look, just a quick look at where we are. I suppose, first of all, in dairying at the moment, and we all know there's a lot of challenges there. I'll just deal with environment in a minute, but from a price point of view, and where the industry is at, obviously a lot of challenges. And I suppose looking around the world, I suppose the one thing we have is, there is an oversupply of milk right around the world currently, in Europe, in New Zealand, and I suppose lucky for us, New Zealand now currently are coming into their peak period, and they're dealing with a price of somewhere around 28 cents a litre, equivalent to what our price is here. So, hopefully, we will see a reduction in milk production around the world in the coming months, and thankfully, in Ireland we're moving on from peak, and even though the price is reducing, and something we don't want to see. And I think there is a responsibility now on our cooperatives to look at adding more value to what we produce as farmers. I think that's very, very important as well. We're looking at, in particular, in casing, we see the value that can be added there as well. And I suppose the other concern we have is, from a market point of view, what's happening in Asia and in China, and they are producing more milk themselves. It's being sold at a lower value than what we're achieving across Europe currently. So that is going to put pressure in the short term on the system as well. And there is quite an amount of skim milk powder and butter and other dairy produce in storage at the moment. So look, there is some challenges ahead, and I suppose the other area, we have been looking at this in the last number of days. I think our cooperatives and merchants have more work to do, in particular around the price of feed. We've seen where the price of grain has fallen over the last year, but we haven't seen the corresponding reduction in the price of feed. So that's one area we need to look at. We see the cost of energy increased by 75% in the last year. And I think it's a huge challenge for the coming winter, for winter milk producers as well. It was only today we met with the CEO of Tesco, and we're making all those points to the CEO that if they want to ensure that they have a supply of liquid milk throughout the year, and we don't want to end up in a scenario where we would end up importing it. We were just making that point today. It's very easy for a dairy farmer to switch from producing winter milk or liquid milk over to manufacturing milk, and we were just making that point to them today. And just quickly on beef, and I don't want to delay people tonight, and again, look, there is some challenges there, but I think there's some a lot of positives as well. And the one I want to mention is, more recently, the scheme that was launched by ICBF and is backed up by funding from the Brexit Adjustment Reserve to the tune of 18 or almost 20 million. And what we're going to see here is we have the genotype, and obviously this is going to improve the genetic makeup of both the dairy and the beef breeding animals. In particular, I think around beef, this is very, very important. We do need to see an advancement in the breeding there. And I suppose what's more important here as well is, for the first time, we will have a DNA traceability of every animal in this country over the next 2 years, right back to where the calf was born. That will be here in this county, in County Sligo. And I was making this point to the CEO of Tesco today, and we have been working with our counterparts in the NFU in the UK and the UFU in Northern Ireland. And the importance of the DNA is now, obviously, we have challenges coming in the UK from trade deals that was done by Boris Johnson. We've seen already Australian beef landing in the UK, and we have done a calculation on this. This could cost us up to £500 million a year on our exports of beef into the UK. So what the proposal we're putting forward is that Irish beef would be number 2 on the British market. I think this would be very, very important. We're getting buy-in, as I say, from the UK farmers as well in this. And Tesco were very interested in being the forerunners in this project as well. So look, I just want to mention that on beef. And obviously the price currently is under pressure at the moment. Obviously, we're seeing the price of sheep under pressure as well, and we continue to campaign for more funding around sheep. And obviously, the grain sector this year, the weather, it has been very difficult and very challenging, so there's challenges around the grain sector as well. But I suppose just finally, I suppose overall, looking at the sector, as I said at the start, I think, look, there's always going to be challenges. There is lots of challenges, and one of them I just want to mention quickly, obviously, is the environment. And I think it was great and it was heartening to hear Mary Donnelly recently coming out on Morning Ireland and saying all the farmers are on board on climate change. I think that was a vote of confidence for us. We're sick of listening to all the NGOs and the knocking farming over the last couple of years. When you have the person that's leading the chair of the Climate Action Council that is advising our government, I think that's very, very important. And she's doing an excellent job on our behalf. Well, I suppose on emissions, and the EPA is saying, well, they put a twist on it and said farmers can only achieve 19 of the 25%. And again, I believe there's a positive story here. We're only a year into our target, and already we can achieve 19 of the 25%. And we know lean and Chagas, all of the work that's going on there, in particular around research. And we all know that now our grass-based system, cows on a grass-based system, is producing less methane emissions. We also know, in particular now with the new genotyping, we can select out the animals producing less emissions as well. So that's an advantage from an emissions reduction point of view as well. And I suppose, we've seen recently again, Europe going mad with regulation, and the more recent one, and I know this will be very important in this part of the country, is the whole area of nature restoration law. And we never said we were against nature restoration, but you had this daft idea of re-wetting farmland, actual farmland, and thankfully it was Article 9 around the nature restoration law. That was actually voted down by the European Parliament just before the summer recess, which is very, very important for us. And look, there are still challenges around it. And another area that was voted down is IED, or Industrial Emissions Directive. And for all of you dairy farmers in the room, this would mean you would have to apply to the EPA for an EPA licence, which is very onerous and very costly as well. And look, finally, I just want to say, I know, and this is a worry for every farmer in the room as well, is the whole nitrates action programme, that we know there's a mid-term review ongoing at the moment. And what I'm talking about here in particular is the derogation, and how important that is, that we can maintain our 250 kilos organic N. And there's a huge challenge around this. And our minister in the next number of weeks will be going back to Brussels with his officials. We have put what I believe is a very serious proposal forward, being honest about, look, we are willing to make some adjustments at farmers. And when I say about adjustments there, our proposal is that we're looking at merging the organic figure of 250 and inorganic figure together. So that would give a farmer a choice, if they want to use less inorganic, that they can maintain the 250 kilos livestock units on their farm, which would be very, very important. And look, we're also clearly saying, if you're reducing inorganic, you have to make better use of the organic on the farm. Thus, we do need more storage on farms. And already we've been saying this to the Minister. We have included this in our pre-budget submission. We need more funding to get that extra storage on farms, and which in the past mightn't have always been seen as a valuable resource. But organic fertiliser is seen as an organic resource. And as numerous people have said here tonight, we have to look to the future. We have to keep a positive on what we do in the sector. Look, I think I've said enough here for tonight. And the 15 people that was their names were up here on the board tonight that's going forward in the competition this year, and the 6 that was selected, I want to wish you all the very, very best of luck and the very best of the winner tonight. And as I said at the start, everybody is a winner here tonight, and thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Tim, President of the Irish Farmers Association. I think Elaine said it in her speech how important it was to have a great sponsor, and FBD have been part and parcel of this journey. We congratulate and thank them. Tomas Milic is the Chief Executive of FBD. He's going to say a couple of words to you now. So you might give Tomas a big round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tomas Milic. I'm the Chief Executive of FBD Insurance. It's a great pleasure to be here in Sligo this evening at the FBD Young Farmer of the Year Awards. I really believe it's important to recognise and celebrate young farmers innovating and pushing the boundaries within Irish agriculture. All of you are fantastic ambassadors for the Irish agri sector, and I must say it was really impressive. All the previous winners up earlier and what the calibre of people that have won this award in the past is genuinely really impressive. It's inspirational to see the great work undertaken by young farmers as you engage with the many challenges that are emerging at the moment, and I think Tim has articulated quite a lot of them there. FBD have been proud supporters of the Young Farmer of the Year since its inception 25 years ago. And look, it's clear that much has changed over that time, and again, very evident tonight, I think. One constant has been the energy, dedication and enthusiasm of the competitors over all those years. And I think you could even say that it's reflected in the winners 25 years on, the energy and enthusiasm for the competition. For those of you who have reached the final round, it's already a massive accomplishment, and both you and your families should be very proud. I want to acknowledge the pivotal role MACRA play, not only in these awards, but in bringing young, like-minded people together. It provides a support network against the backdrop of the challenges of modern living, and I think all are aware of the potentially isolating nature of farming and rural life. And I think there's so many people here who have articulated the whole thing of family and even the drama, etc. But the fact that there's an opportunity for people to come together and to deal with some of those challenges in what sounds like a fairly fun way. I would also like to take this opportunity to wish Elaine Houlihan all the very best as his 39th Macra na Farmer President, and we at FBD look forward to our continued association. Farming in the current climate is certainly not for the faint-hearted. The agricultural sector is experiencing rapid change, and I know it's very evident tonight the key need to balance economic sustainability with environmental sustainability. And I think the tendency is to focus on what is not being done, and you get a lot of negative media. But I must say I've been enlightened to see the many examples of sustainability in action, the length and breadth of the country. I mean, you go to the Teagasc Awards and you go down to Moore Park and you just see the huge amount of work, positive work being done for people to engage in those challenges in a meaningful and constructive way. And it genuinely is enlightening for somebody like me who's not a farmer. The farmers and the farming community are working together, educating themselves, adopting new technologies and methods to tackle the environmental challenges that are already upon us. And I think it's widespread, and it's very much part of the education that seems to be taking place now. Also something that is hugely widespread. I was amazed to hear that there's 4,000 people engaged in some form of education with Teagasc. Also, at events like this, we are reminded of the inherited and passed down knowledge that exists within our young farmer population. It's very obvious that people are getting so much advice and guidance from their parents. But not only that, they are bringing their own ability to shape and mould that for the future ahead. So you have the inherited knowledge, but you have these people with education and drive and the young farmers. And it's really evident at a celebration like this. We in FBD are committed to continue working alongside leading rural organisations and institutions such as Macra. We are especially committed to promoting initiatives which support the future sustainability of Irish farming. Finally, I hope you all have an enjoyable evening and successful careers ahead as world-class farmers. Thank you very much, and the very best of luck to all the competitors. Good night. Thank you.
Rinamagad Tomas, Chief Executive of FBD. I know Elaine also mentioned and thanked all the judges for being involved. There was Martin and Paul and Brian, I think, but there was also the chairman of the final judging panel. And I'd ask him to come up now and say a couple of words. Will you welcome, please, Joe Healy.
Thanks very much, Marty, and good evening, everyone. President of Macra, MEP Markey, and indeed everyone that's here tonight, and particularly the contestants and the 15 semi-finalists who went through the rigours of judging this day week, and above all, the six finalists today. And I think we saw what this competition has churned out over the years since 1999, and there were 8 people here tonight that have been and continue to be incredible ambassadors for the young farmers of Ireland, but indeed Irish agriculture. And it's with a great sense of pride that I looked at the 8 of them, and I was involved in the judging, I think, of 7 out of the 8. So, and indeed I'd have to say that the people that weren't here tonight, and most of you here would be aware of them, they could carry can with any of the 8 that were here tonight. I've often said that it's the best competition in the best organisation in the country. I say very clearly and without fear of contradiction that for a given time in any person's life, there's no better organisation in Ireland than Macra na Feirme. It's that period, we'll say, from 18 to 30 or whatever. Some of us stayed in it a bit longer than that. And some of us are a lot older than that 30 now, unfortunately. But it is an incredible organisation, and what it has done for young people, for rural Ireland, and for the benefits of young farmers. And absolutely what's of almost equal importance is the social aspect over the years that young people have got from it. So I've been delighted to be involved in the judging panels in, I think, 19 out of the 25 years. And it just gets better and better. And, the level of education amongst the young farmers just seems to increase year on year, with masters and PhDs and degrees now almost being the norm. So again, I want to thank very sincerely Macra na Feirme for continuing to organise this. But as what's said a number of times tonight, it gets a lot easier to organise a good, great national competition when you have great and interested sponsors. And I know I alluded to it last year. It's one thing to get an organisation or a group to sponsor a competition and they give you whatever, the money or the vouchers or whatever. But in the likes of FBD, and all you have to do is look around here tonight, and you have Liam and Tomas and John and all the team over here. They fill this table over here. I think that just shows the level of interest they have in this competition, and I very sincerely want to thank them. I want to thank Michael and the FBD Trust. And I also want to comment on one other person that has shown great support for this competition, for young farmers and farmers in general. And unfortunately he's no longer with us, but that's Pádraig Walsh, and I just want to remember him here tonight as well. And IFA, and Tim has spoken. I also want to acknowledge James and Niall and other IFA members for their presence here tonight. So we were extremely lucky this year in the sense that we had probably the most varied set of finalists that we've ever had. We had everything from dairy farmers to apple growers, pedigree sheep farmers, dry stock farmers. We just had a whole dry stock. We had a whole array. So it kept the day for myself and Martin and Paul extremely interesting and varied. And I also hope that you, the candidates, got something back from it as well. And as I said earlier on today, if you felt we were being tougher drilling into you, we'll take that as a compliment, because we only drill into people that we feel are capable of it. Brian has been here representing the semi-finalist judges, and a big thanks to them also. So again, thanks to Macra, IFA, and above all to FBD for this great competition. And I know it's going to continue to go from strength to strength, but it's at a very, very strong level at the moment. So keep it going. Thanks very much, ladies, and thanks, Michael.
Thank you very much indeed, Joe. Now, we're coming into the home stretch, to the climax of the evening, where we have various category winners. And once you are one of those lucky ones to be announced as a winner, you might join us up here where we have our trophies. And the presenting panel, I presume, Elaine, are you coming up there? And you may as well. So we've 5 initial awards, and I have the honour of announcing them. The first category winner is Best New Entrant. Sorry, Tomas is going to join as well. There we go. So the Best New Entrant. The new entrant winner for 2023 is Stephen O'Keefe. Well done, Stephen. Congrats. Next category is the Land Mobility Award winner. And the Land Mobility Award winner is Dwayne Shields. Congratulations. Our third category is Dry Stock Award, and the Dry Stock Award winner is Patrick Egan. Our fourth award winner tonight is Other Enterprise Award category, and that is going to Philip Talon. Well done, Philip. Our fifth award is Dairy Award, and the Dairy Award goes to Sean Kelly. Our next award is for the Bacra Agricultural Skill Net Biodiversity Award, and Elaine is going to make that announcement.
We're very fancy. We have an envelope.
Yeah.
So this is for the Macra Agricultural Skills Net Biodiversity Award. We'd like to thank Macra Agricultural Skill Net for sponsoring this award. And the winner is Conor Doran.
Well done, Conor. Now we come to the climax of the evening. We announce the runner-up and indeed the winner. And to do the honours, can I call on Michael Berkery, Chairperson of the FBD Trust.
And thank you very much, Marty. Just before I do that, I want to say again, what an amazing achievement to be here 25 years on from the inaugural meeting or the inaugural competition. But also maybe just to say, when I have the opportunity in front of the mic, which I'm never slow to admit, we're the Trust, FBD Trust, will be 50 years in existence in 2024. So throughout that 50-year period, we have been strong supporters of Macra na Feirme in various guises in various competitions. And earlier, the President referred to the contribution the Trust makes towards research and so on. And of course that has changed immensely over the past 50 years, from very small beginnings, a very small acorn with a small amount of money that was set aside for philanthropic purposes by the founders of FBD Insurance Company back in the day. So out of that has grown a very significant trust, and I can say that, you know, after half a century we have spent, or invested I should say maybe rather than spent, tens of millions of euro in ag research. We started with simple scholarships to ag colleges, then eventually the state picked up that cost, but then we moved on, and now our focus will be probably more and more supporting environmental research and particularly sustainability, that farming and food production can coexist very successfully and profitably, and we can see from the energy in the room and the confidence in the people that were up here earlier on. So I just thought I should get that little overview in, as probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest man in the room. We refer to ourselves in FBD Trust as the elders, because we're generally the guys that have been around for a long, long time, but we have seen an immense evolution, phenomenal, extraordinary, and the transformation of the country and the transformation of the economic lively standards and particularly food. With that, again, to congratulate the winners in advance, and the runner-up for the Young Farmer of the Year, I have to open this, Marty, and it is Patrick Egan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, and competitors, the moment that the competition and the evening has been looking forward to, the winner, the 2023 FBD Young Farmer of the Year, is Dwayne Shields.
And if you want to take a step forward and like get away from the shine.
Dwayne, if I could ask you to come over here and join me for a moment. Thank you. No, well done, Michael. Well done. Good stuff, guys. Dwayne, nice to meet you. Dwayne, would you like to say a couple of words first, then we can have a chat?
It'll be very short and sweet.
That's all right.
So,
Mom and Dad, you might stay here with me for a second. Come on.
first of all, thanks very much. Wasn't expecting this. I'd like to thank FBD and Macra for organising the event. All the contestants, everyone that was there today, and the semi-final last day. I'd like to thank the judges, Michael, Brian and John the last day, and then we had Joe and Martin and Paul today. 2 very good days interviews, put us through our paces and definitely left us coming out wondering. So thanks very much to there, folks. Thanks for anyone that gave me help for it. My parents behind me, thanks for everything that they've done with the last couple of days, and I'm going to keep it fairly short and sweet. Thanks very much. Just finally, Macra, thanks for Catherine and Elaine for all the hard work they've done for organising this too. So thanks very much, folks.
You think you're going to get off light? It's not a hope, Dwayne. You're now an All-Ireland champion. You're the FBD Young Farmer of the Year. Come in a bit. I don't bite, I swear. Tell me, Dwayne, talk to me about your own background, because to me, having done the 24 previous winners, there's been nobody from Donegal. So you're the first young farmer, FBD Young Farmer of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, from Donegal.
Yeah, I suppose.
Just talk away. David is on the gig there. No, here.
I suppose first from Donegal. Wasn't expecting tonight. Sheep farmer at home, farming from very young at home. Would have done a lot of work with my grandfather. He's passed away now, but I would have done a lot of work with him. Passed away in 2015. Started then kind of back from scratch. Rented a bit of ground, put up a shed and that. We're now all sheep. A few sucklers there, but mostly sheep. Running 350 ewes there. Lamb down around 500 ewes. All pedigree system. All ewes are pedigree. Some recipients carrying embryos and that, but it's all pedigree system. Working at home. I have a younger brother at home there. It's helped me too. He's at home injecting ewes at night, so helping him too, and plenty of people at home helping it. A lot of work for my mother and father keeping me right too, I suppose.
Yeah, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a little bit unique as well that Young Farmer of the Year would be a sheep farmer, because it's not. I don't think it's been the tradition, more than judging by what I learned tonight.
I'm not sure. I suppose sitting there this morning at the breakfast or the lunch this morning, sitting with a few people around us, there are a lot of dairy lads around there and doing things right and doing things, I suppose, a lot what we wouldn't be expecting, the sheep, and maybe making a lot more money per hectare and a lot more money per livestock unit, but I suppose that was a bit surprising today. Yeah.
Where's your farm?
Just outside Letterkenny, or Melton.
Oh, I love it. It's a lovely part of the country, I know it. Yeah. And in terms of this event, I mean, what was on your mind when you entered or when you were nominated or whatever?
I was nominated for it. I got an email to say that you've been entered to it from Macra. I got an email to say thanks for entering. So I started that there, and then I done the online interview. I didn't know what to expect from it first. Then went to Portlaoise last week, and the 3 lads put us through his paces. Came out of that not knowing what to expect, and was surprised today to be in the final, and then coming out of the interview, we had an hour-long interview there today, and they definitely put us through it today again.
And you're still recovering from the interview, I'd say.
Still just about. I was last on this evening there, so.
Good man.
Just about.
And in terms of, you're also, my research tells me, you're a lecturer, are you not?
Lecturing in ATU up in Letterkenny there, so doing an agriculture course in ATU.
What are you lecturing in?
Agricultural science.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, so we have a new course, or it's going on 5 or 6 years now, so lecturing since last year in the ATU in Letterkenny there, so I was with Jaggis before that and done a PhD in Athenry.
How do you manage it all?
I don't know.
Are you good at timings?
No, definitely not. Can be late for things, but no, kind of plans it all gets done in the end.
Well done. I want to have a word with your mum and dad. You move over there slightly, Dwayne, into the middle, because Maria and George are here as well. Marie, talk to me about this fella here and winning this award here tonight.
He's been interested in sheep since he was 2 or 3. First photograph with his granddad was stoating sheep, and he was 2. Really hard worker. He always applied himself, but he spread himself fairly thin between sheep, school, and football. And he plays for Glenswally as well, so he has that.
Not anymore.
Well, he's sheep now, but no, he's a hard worker. He worked hard at it, and late nights, early mornings, and up all night lambing sheep.
Yeah.
But no, he's done really well. He's worked hard for it.
And I saw, George, a bit of a tear there in your eye when he was announced as Young Farmer of the Year. You're very proud.
So definitely. Getting an amazing young lad. Amazing young lad. And his brother as well. Amazing family. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well done. And obviously, sheep farming is in the family. I mean, you must be so proud of your 2 boys that they're continuing on that rich tradition.
The sister as well.
Yeah.
And daughter as well, Ashley. She's a teacher in special needs school in Little Kelly. So
you have a great family.
Proud of the family, yeah.
Great.
Brilliant family.
Is it true you're buying drink for everybody in the audience here tonight?
Yeah, that's okay.
Everybody, it's like the late. There's a free drink for everybody in the audience, thanks to George. Well done. I'm so delighted for you. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on your historic win, and enjoy every moment of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shields family, but particularly Dwayne Shield, the FBD Young Farmer of the Year. Oh yeah, don't forget that. Well done. Nice meeting you. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed your evening here between dinner and the speeches and meeting all our former Young Farmers of the Year award winners. And we've added on the 25th FBD Young Farmer of the Year is going to go to Donegal for the first time in its history. So it's historic in every way possible, every way you look at it. I know it's been said, we thank FBD because your support for Macra na Farma and the IFA, that triumvirate coming together, well, you can see what your work has been done over the last 25 years, and here's to the next 25 years. So enjoy the rest of your evening. I want to thank the Macra na Farma team, Donny and Lane and Catherine. Stephanie is not here, and I'm so glad to be your host for this evening. I hope you enjoyed everything and have a great rest of the night. And wherever the party is, wherever Copperface Jacks is in Sligo, we'll be going in about 10 minutes. The bus will be outside, although I'll be walking, by the way, I will be walking. And when you see me at Christmas time, you won't recognise me. I'll have lost so much weight from the walking. Anyway, tonight is your night, and to everybody involved in this wonderful, wonderful competition, I'm so delighted to be asked. So 3 cheers for the Young FBD Young Farmer of the Year in association with Macra na Farma and, of course, the Irish Farmers Association. Hip, hip! Hooray! That is pathetic. So now I want to imagine, wherever you're from, that you're 2 points down in Croke Park. Last kick of the game, and your county man or woman has just scored the winning goal, okay? Since there's nobody here probably from Dublin, let's say we just beat Dublin, okay? Oh, you see, that'll get her going. So now 3 cheers for the winners. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Thank you very much. Ihawa. Good night. Thank you.